afternoon, one and all. It is my privilege to have the opportunity of speaking in front of you all today. This technical session will be conducted by CA Veerabasana Gouda Shivappa. I request CA Shripad sir to escort him onto the dais. As we have seen so far, auditors are truly the eyes and ears for banks. This is why the regulators have put responsibility on the branch statutory auditors to provide information on certain issues. Besides the normal audit report, as per the statutory requirements, the terms of the public, private, and foreign sector banks require the auditors to furnish an LFAR. A long-form audit report, LFAR for short, is a questionnaire prepared by RBI which an auditor has to answer. It is a management report submitted by bank auditors at branch level. Branch LFARs are then consolidated to form the bank level LFAR. The overall objective of the long-form audit report is to identify and assess any gaps and vulnerable areas in the business operations, risk management, compliance, and the efficacy of internal audit, and provide an independent opinion on the same to the board of the bank and provide their observations. The RBI had originally introduced the system of LFAR submission by the auditors way back in 1985, and they subsequently revised the same in 1993, 2003, and recently in 2020. LFAR serves as a vital tool for auditors and their team members as they can comment on the balance sheet, profit and loss account, prudential norms, process lapses in operations, and other issues relating to statutory audit. Auditors have to offer their comments or feedbacks on all these items, and LFR also has questions for specialized branches such as forex branches, service branches, and branches having large advances. This would help in verifying data integrity, transaction testing, and adequacy of implementation of various policies. Okay, I think I'm sounding a lot like Wikipedia right now. So please allow my friend Dilip to introduce someone who would explain all this much better.
Thank you, Taro. Hello, everyone. It's my honor to have the opportunity to introduce our next speaker, CA Veerabasana Gouda Shivappa. He hails from Raichur district of North Karnataka. He qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1998, after which he joined PK Subramanian & Co. Chartered Accountants, which is a CA firm. Currently a partner, he's a partner at the firm. One can say Mr. Veerabasana has been closely associated with the firm, as he even completed his articleship training there. He holds a degree in commerce along with a bachelor's degree in law from Gulbarga University. He has also cleared post-qualification courses of ICAI like DISA, Bank Concurrent Audit, Arbitration and Conciliation Proceedings, and even GST certification course. Over the years, his area of specialization has turned out to be statutory audit of corporate, non-corporate entities, and direct indirect taxation. He also represents clients before appellate authorities and even tribunals. As far as work is concerned, he handles the overall management of the firm, covering areas of audit and insurance, internal audit and taxation, and even representation before the tax authorities. With respect to bank audit exposure, he has not only involved himself in branch audit of banks, but he was also a part of the team which conducted the central statutory audit of public sector banks. Along with this, he has also presented a paper on taxation of hotel industry and even bullion industry under Karnataka Value Added Tax Act. We are indeed delighted and honored to have you here with us today, sir. We look forward to learning more from you. Everybody, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Veerabasana, sir.
The stage is all yours.
Good afternoon. I had good food. ready for sleep, or let us try to wake up ourselves for next whatever best possible. You say the sir stop and I can stop. Right. At the outset, I thank Chairman Srinivas and Kavita Parmesh, Sridhar and other office bearers of this one for giving me an opportunity to speak on this long form audit report. To begin with, I would like to start with why there is a special conference for students on bank branch audit. You can stop me anywhere wherever there is doubt or this one. Can you tell why this one? My colleague told since 1985 LFAR is in existence. At the same time, for an upcoming chartered accountant, bank branch audit is a source of major income over the period of time. During our times or this one, suppose if anyone gets a bank audit, he generally used to get some 3 to 4 lakhs rupees of income, which as a most of you are may go to industry or this one, but whoever is interested in practice, bank branch audit is a major source of income. But at the same time, it carries a lot of risk. What is that risk? Over a period of time, there is a lot of regulatory agencies which are calling us and they are verifying us and asking us whether you are doing the audit in the right spirit as per the prescribed guidelines or not. In such a way, the bank audit we have to complete within 10 days or 15 days. Suppose if it is like even now when we are discussing with my friends, the bank audit's allotment process is not yet over. On 31st they will allot and they ask us to certify by 5th of April or 10th of April. It is like a tremendous pressure from this one. Whenever you go to a branch audit, they will start, sir, the next auditor has already finished. Today is going to sign. When you are going to sign, but how long you are in our branch? That is the toughness with which we have to work. Then coming forward, why there is a special focus on articles or for students? Because any bank audit, you are the strength. Like any principal, he can't do what is the ones, even a small bank branch will have minimum 5 to 6 employees, and they will work for 365 days, and you have to certify whether what they have done is correct or not within 5 to 6 days of your presence there. They may cooperate or they may not cooperate, but it is your luck or bad luck to certify whether those accounts are correct or not. And for a principal, you are the asset. I am repeatedly telling because the way you conduct the audit or the way you gather the information will be useful for the principal or your firm which is doing the audit to come up with good points. Good points because now we are answerable to NEFRA, we are answerable to ICAI, we are answerable to so many institutions. We'll discuss one by one. Therefore, there is a necessity that you people are trained or you have the basic idea that what you should do in this one. My other friends might have covered other things. We will start with LFAR. Visible. How many of you know Kannada? Yeah, very good. So, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Then we can start. Good, very good. Read that. ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಂಬಾಗ ಹಾಲಗರುಂಡಂತೆ ಸಾಲಿಗರು ಕೊಂಡು ಎಳೆವಾಗ ಕಿಬ್ಬದಿಯ ಕೂಲಿ ಮರದಂತೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. This is not now. It's a great poet Sarvagna told many years back. Correct? That's whenever you apply for a loan, whenever you apply for this one and the bank gives or your friends gives, taking loan is very easy. But repayment comes, then you will start avoiding, or the person who has taken the loan will start avoiding. Can we have a small story? Right. Yeah. All article students I know, they're not very rich in finances because the article stipend is very less to manage their this one. Okay. True. I know. I'm telling on your behalf. Okay. By luckily, your parents say that you go for a long audit and other things. Let us give them a bike. Ordinary bike catches. Parents will not give the costly bikes. It will cost around 1 lakh nowadays. 2 lakhs is high end. I'm calling 1 lakh to reach office and come back. 1 lakh rupees, you book a bike, but nowadays even there is a competition that will that the bike is for a waiting period and you can come and buy it for after 3 months. Then you have 1 lakh. Your CA mind starts working. Let us give it on interest. Then you identify 4 of your friends who regularly meet for the coffee or lunch or dinner. Okay. Then one person tells, I need 25,000 rupees. All the 4 tell that we need 25,000 rupees for different purposes and we will give you 18% interest. It sounds good. 1,500 rupees if you earn, you can go for a movie or you can do something for next 3 months without telling parents and do this one. It looks attractive and you call them and give 25,000 rupees to each one of them. Then what is the interest you are going to get? 1,500 rupees. Okay, divided by, you have to get 375 rupees from each one of them and you already start daydreaming that what you are going to do. The persons who used to meet you regularly, all the 4 friends, after 15 days you find that there is a change in behavioral pattern. The first person who is coming with you says, yeah, you helped me in a very critical situation, I should be grateful to you. He is very prompt person. That's a second person is also reasonably okay. The third person says, you have helped me, but I have a problem. I can't give you the money within next 2-3 months. Just your bike is already, dream is getting collapsed. Okay. And now, at the end of 25 days, when you are supposed to get the first month interest, you find that the 4th person is not at all responding, or whenever you go in front of him, is not at all seeing your face. What happens? Then you will come to know that it is habit is to get the money from people like you and run away. Then, what is your position? If I put this into this is your profit and loss account. 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. Out of this, now at the end of the month, your parents are asking, where is the bike? You don't have the bike even. Then you have to look for some cycle. Then you analyze the person, like who is the first person. I told he is a very prompt person. He on the first of every month, he gives 375 rupees and says a very great thank. And the second person good also, he gives you a third. First 2 persons you are lucky. What about the third person? Good, but he says after 3 months I will give you. Then the 4th person is not at all responding. Then in such a situation, what is your profit or loss? You earned 375, 750 rupees, but what is the loss? You may get 25,000 rupees from the third person, but not now. And 4th person, you know that it is already gone because he has duped the person like you and it is his habitual offender. Then if you prepare this profit and loss account, actually you will lose 50,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees is doubtful. And first and second are good. The whole bank audit revolves around this basic concept of identifying whether the certification what you are going to do is good, bad or ugly. If I explore into bankers, this one, actually you are losing within a 1 month, there is a loss of 49,250 rupees because the R has not paid and it is looks to be doubtful, and the S is this one, and you are lost 50,000 as against a income of 750 rupees. Sounds good? Don't venture into financing. If we apply this formula to bank, before 1985, until the Narsim Committee and various committees brought into this one, like banks used to declare without classifying their advances as good or bad or doubtful, they used to recognize on accrual basis. It is whatever interest due from the advances and this one they used to give. What was the effect? They used to pay income tax. Actually, there is you are certifying your parents that you have got 1 lakh rupees. If they call you to pay 10,000 rupees, where you will bring? The government, because most of the audits which we are going to conduct is a nationalized bank where central government is indirectly the owner. It asks for the dividend. There is an income. Without having the real income, I am paying tax, I am paying dividends, and my actual borrower is not paying. As a result, there was no true and fair view representation for the banks. And actually, whenever I am showing that I am a huge profit, but actually the health of the banks were deteriorating. And suppose if I say that in case, in our own case where we told that even the second person also defaults, then your parents have to refinance you for the bike. Correct? Therefore, there were a lot of reforms brought into the banking industry to prove that, to actually show what is exactly the your financial health. These are all the stakeholders. Banks get the answerable to Reserve Bank of India because it is the ultimate banker's banker, and shareholders majority is now government is the shareholder because it is always a public money. And the depositor, who is the depositor? We give this, you might be reading in the newspaper like scam with like a local Bangalore, there was a cooperative bank scam and PMC scam. This, we are fed up with scams. Every second year or third year we come up with a, like he has made 2000 rupees scam or this one, and the every year that amount of scams are increasing. It means that there is a lacuna in checking, lacuna in identifying the bad friend, and lacuna or misutilization of the rules and regulations. Whatever RBI makes the rules, these scamsters or fraudsters come with their own thing. And within these 10 days, it is your duty to identify that what your principal is going to certify is free from all these mistakes. That's where your strength, and your strength helps us to make a better audit. You should not go for one more CA examination. What RBI expects from auditors? True and fair view of asset quality. Suppose any advance is standard, substandard, doubtful, or loss asset. They want the clear classification. Suppose if there is no recoverability or this one, is there any willful defaulter? Is there any fraudster who has taken the loan? Whether the bank has involved this one. When we study these auditing classes, what they tell, like we are not bloodhounds, we need not suspect anyone, but it's only true and fair view. You have read? Correct. But the gone are the days, because the RBI says if there is any fraud committed at the branch level, it is your responsibility to report within 2 days of recognizing. Within 2 days, how will you quantify? How you this one? At least you should inform. It means the person who is auditing should report. There is an amendment in company's Caro report where they say that if there is a chance for fraud, you have to report. What is the role of auditor? as we already discussed this one, you have to certify whether the loans shown in the books of the banks are good, doubtful, or this one, and their classification is correct, and there is a income recognition and assets classification norms which has been properly followed or not. Now, coming to LFAR, like we used to certify in earlier days, I have verified on test check basis and everything was found to be correct. Right? I give the article, you verify this, you will go for tea and come back and say that, sir, correct, and based on test checks, this one. Now, the LFAR seeks a specific answer from the auditing firm that what is happening in these class of assets and liabilities. If I broadly divide the LFAR, it runs like this. There is a specific questionnaire with respect to assets. What is that? Cash, balance with Reserve Bank of India and State Bank of India and other banks, money at call and short notice, investments for branches outside India, advances, other assets. Then the liabilities. There is a specific questionnaire with respect to deposits, other liabilities, bills payable, sundry deposits, etc., and contingent liabilities. Then the next is profit and loss account. Whether questionnaire relating to profit and loss account, whether the incomes and expenses have been correctly accounted or not. Then there is a general questionnaire which says that there is a specific answer: gold, bullion, security items, books and records, interbranch accounts, frauds. Again, fraud comes again and again. Don't tell me that why you are is this one. Now it is order of the day. While certifying, you have to look into from the fraud angle. Don't suspect everyone, but it is your duty to question and arrive at there is no fraud. Management information system and miscellaneous. If we divide all these things into 8 segments, let us while going through this one, you can download the LFAR. I thought we will start from miscellaneous, because these items, if you do it in the initial this one, it will give you a proper insight that what you are doing and how the branch is, and you will get the feel of how the branch functions. This miscellaneous comes in the last pair of the LFR, but let us start with this one. When you go to before going to a bank branch audit, your principal will send a letter because you don't have the time. Let us now, what you should do is that download that bank guidance note latest, because considering the risk involved, our institute revises this bank guidance note depending upon the changes which has taken shape for the last year, and this one. Download the copy and study it and send a letter. There is everything ready-made dish is available. A letter to be addressed to a branch manager seeking all the information. What you should ask: your previous year's branch audit report or LFAR, which your previous auditor would have taken care and certified what has happened into that. Then, is there any wrongdoings? Is there any frauds detected? Is there any omission of income? All those things will come under previous year's audit report. Internal audit. Internal audit, what is that? Every month, all these big branches with a specific exposure of more than, I think it is 50 crores or this one, it is subject to concurrent audit by a sometimes they conduct from in-house internal audit or from the external chartered accountants. There is a specific guidelines for them, and they have to comply with that. These concurrent audit report or internal audit report will give you the sight that is there anything wrong in that. Credit audit report, whenever there is a amount given, loan given, there is a credit audit report where a person who visits from the outside the branch, who may be employee of the same bank, but he comes from the different branch, and certify that the credit audit report, whatever the documents obtained by the branch is correct and in order. RBI inspection report. RBI every year selects one or two banks for the inspection, and out of that it will select based on the risk parameters and other things. Generally they will select two to three top 20 branches of the bank and sends its team for the inspection. Is there any branch where you are going for an audit? If it is subjected to RBI inspection report, you should call for the audit report. Or if suppose if it is no audits, take a confirmation letter from the branch manager that no such audit took place. Income and expenditure account. Like a lot of CA firms do this income leakage audit, where the bank generally suppose any commission on LCs, BGs, interest accounting, and all those things, whether any loopholes or leakages detected in the period. IS and computer audit, like DISA qualified people will be conducting the systems. You know, mirror image of the branks, where there will be a central server, and the central server will be located in X place, and entire mirror image will be disaster recovery management. As per that, this one will be in different country or different area with a different nature. Like suppose a bank is having a major server in Mumbai, they will have one copy either in Australia or North India or South India, so that something happens in that area, at least from the next day you can start the business by copying that. That all these computer systems and other things are subject to IS audit regularly. You can call for those reports. Any special inspection and investigation report. Special investigation or this one, if there is any suspect of fraud or if there is any early mortality, the RBI or the bank management can apply for special investigation report. Suppose in one of the cases where I saw that they have obtained some 100 crores of loan against this gold business, where they told that this gold is going to be exported to Dubai and the repayments will be made. But at the end of 2 3 years, that account became bad. Then the special investigation was conducted by one reputed chartered accountant firm to verify was the bank management was involved with those firms. As a result, such a huge loss has been caused to the bank. Any other matter which auditor wants to bring to the notice of management during the course of your audit, if you all come across anything, like if they ask more tea, coffee, then you don't report that. If one question, tea, next question, I don't know. The temple is very good, sir. You can go for a trip. Yeah. First item of the LFR, the cash. What is cash? You know, ordinarily, how a branch should carry cash. Anyone? Can the branch manager take the cash to his home? Yeah, 10 lakhs rupees, I'll bring it next back. No. You verify how the banks are opened and how the safe locker are opened. Always they call for dual custody because they don't believe their own people. It is not believing or this one, it is a procedure adopted for the safekeeping of the assets. Cash being a most volatile, at least if you have a stock in hand, somebody takes, you can run and take. If the person goes with cash, just you will find a news in newspaper, nothing else. Okay. Key movement register. What is the key movement register? The branch manager and the cashier has to mention who is having the custody of the key, and suppose somebody goes for the leave, he should hand over that key into other person's hands and give. At that time, the branch manager and the third person will have the custody of this one, and they maintain a separate key register for that. You should ask for that and verify whether the branch X person is having both the keys in his hands. Then it's a violation. ATM cash balance verification. How the ATM cash are fed? There will be separate agency which will bring and feed the cash and take the cash, and all those things, they will maintain the scrolls, whether that is correct or not. Cash limit fixed by the head office. Why this cash limit is fixed by head office? Can a branch keep 1 crore rupees in its hands? Why? You are all management accounting students. Why a branch cannot hold maximum cash in its hand? A branch. Suppose everybody starts holding 1 crore each. Suppose if there are 1,000 branches, the branch is losing interest. It wants to keep the cash at the minimum level so that it can earn income for it. Keeping cash is not the criteria. Therefore, they discourage and fix a limit for this each branch, that how much cash they can hold. You ask for what is the limit fixed, and generally you will find that majority of the cases they will exceed this limit. Year-end scrolls, insurance coverage. Why this insurance coverage is required? Takes the theft. And suppose if there is a movement from one branch to this one, yeah, you should look into that insurance coverage. What is the amount? Suppose if there is a insurance coverage for 10 lakhs rupees, and if that branch is moving, there will be usually movement of cash between one branch to another branch, depending upon the requirements, or this one are taking from the cash chest and other things. They should ensure that the operations are done within the cash insurance limits. Take the cash insurance, then cash insurance gives you, suppose if the cash insurance is for 10 lakhs and the branch general closing balance is around 15 lakhs, then there is a violation of 5 lakhs rupees. At the first time they are losing interest, at the second time they are putting the cash at risk. Shall we move forward? Balance with RBI, SBI and other banks. Banks are also bankers if they don't need the money or for the convenience. Suppose if I am a rural branch, if I have a cash, instead of going to a district place or this one, I find that nearby there is a one branch of either SBI or somebody. That rural bank is authorized to keep those banks with the other banks. Then what you should do? Take the confirmation, and whether interest accounted, any missing entries, and those closing balances are tallying with the bank balance as appearing in the trial balance of the branch or not, that you should certify. Money at call and short notice. What is this? Most of the branches we are dealing will, this money at call and short notice will not come, because this is all dealt at head office level or treasury operations. The person who is doing the like there will be a separate treasury section in that branch which will take care of this money at call and short notice. For economic interest, if there is a money at call and short notice, it means a money kept with other banks for short notice, like for 2 days, 7 days, 8 days or so. The same principle will apply. You collect the information, bank confirmation, and whether it tallies with the books or not. Then other assets. What are these other assets? The trial balance of any bank, you can make a note of that. It comes with the limited heads. You can't do like our tally. I can't create hundreds of ledgers and then struggle for reconciliation. It has a specific field, specific system of operations where you can't park anything which cannot be classified will find a place in other assets and other current liabilities. What is that? Suppose branch has given an advance of 50,000 rupees for the rented premises of the branch manager. Is it okay? Okay or not okay? Normal. If any amount given as an advance to employee which is outstanding for more than 6 months, is it okay? No. If it is given yesterday, it is okay. There may be a chance that the amount might have been misappropriated, or there might any expenses which are not been booked into the books, suppose if it is not a material, this one, all these has to be segregated and reported in your LFAR. Then this detailed list of other assets has to be taken, take the print and compare the balances and make a note of it, and any unusual entries to be noted down and to be brought into the our main report. Deposits. How many of you are having a SB account which is not operated? One or two? Yeah. Is it dormant now? No. You deposit 1 rupee every year. Any account, huh? You are maintaining that. Any account, SB account or current account which is not operated regularly, for the safety of the depositor and for the safety of the bank, they convert this into a dormant account, which is inoperative account. Suppose you have deposited some 10,000 rupees in a SB account and you are not visiting that branch. You have shifted place or this one, and for various reasons, if you go back and issue a check or try to withdraw the money, it says that it is blocked, it is dormant. Go and visit the branch manager. He will ask for your fresh Aadhaar photo and other things, and then he will, after satisfaction, he will release that amount, that account into a operative account. From there, you can operate. You know, these inoperative accounts are regularly used for misappropriation of funds. Suppose if there is a 1 lakh rupees amount lying in an account, there are many instances where these accounts have been converted into operative account with the convenience of the branch officials, and the amounts were withdrawn. It is straight case of embezzlement. In order to avoid that, whether what is the number of accounts which became operative from inoperative, you make a list, take the printouts. There is nothing wrong in taking the printouts. There is don't go for this. It's also at least soft copies should be taken, and if it is not this one, branch will give you the printouts. Deposits. What are the other this one? Like you can take a sample of deposits under each head: current accounts, SB accounts, fixed deposits, recurring deposits, and verify what is the rate of interest applied, whether it is correct or not, and whether the rate of interest charged is as per the circular. If you refer to the, there will be annual closing instructions where they will give detailed list of applicable circulars and guidelines and how the accounts for that branch has been closed. And if you look into that, they will give what are the changes in the rate of interest, whether that has been duly taken care by the system. If any deposit, the rate of interest is around 4.5% and the system charges 5%, what does it mean? 0.5% extra interest has been given. Then you have to report and debit the account, and it is a clear case of income leakage. Anybody maintains minimum balance, suppose if you suppose 5,000 rupees, like Axis Bank, by the time you go there, they will go on deducting 50 rupees. And you say that it is minus 250 rupees. They will ask you to 250 and give. Even though there is an automated processes available in the bank, most of the times this minimum interest, minimum fees for the non-maintenance of the balances might not have been charged. National banks, everything is possible. You should be careful. Other liabilities like assets. This is other liabilities. Other liabilities, any commission received for 1 year, like letter of credit commission or bank guarantee commission, the customer might have this one. As we know, it is an accrual system. We should segregate the system between 2 years, first year and second year. Then the advance received will come and sit under other liabilities. Here also we should see, is there any unusual entries? Suppose interest, commission which should have been accounted for the current year, if it is not accounted, then we should report. Contingent liabilities. What is contingent liabilities? Where it will appear in the balance sheet? Liability side, asset side. Footnote. When it will move up, when it will appear in the balance sheet side, when it is no. You have given bank guarantee, means branch has given a bank guarantee of 1 crore and that bank guarantee gets devolved. Then what is the, suppose if I have given a bank guarantee, like I'm a civil works contractor, I have given 1 crore bank guarantee. Generally what bankers will give for this bank guarantee is that they will take 25 lakhs rupees as a security and 1 crore they will give the bank guarantee depending upon your credentials. If that works contractor fails, then this footnote what you are talking about will become your asset. Without this one, then again it is called LC devolved, BC devolved, all those will jump. Contingent liabilities is a majorly consist of letter of credits and bank guarantees. Other than that, you should take the list and see that are there any expired guarantees or expired letter of credits which should be removed from the system. Otherwise, the contingent liability will show a unnecessary excess balances. Profit and loss account. The bank closes every 6 months once. Then you should obtain the 4 half-yearly statements. One for the 31/3/2022, then 21, then comparative figures for 30th September 21 and previous to this one. Then make a chart, compare. Is there any divergence, whether income has gone up or expenses has gone up, and verify what is the reason. Then dig into those expenses and verify whether it is correct or not and what is the reasons. Like like there will be certain branches which are largely concentrating on deposit oriented branches. There will be certain branches which will be mainly loan giving balances. Then suddenly during this period the loan giving branch has able to get some major deposits from public sector undertaking, then your balance sheet is okay. You have to identify the reasons for increase or decrease in the performance comparing the last 2 years figures and report. Wherever you go, you have to identify the basic funda is that major loans you should obtain the sanction letters. If it is if possible, make a photocopy of that, because that sanction letter gives you what are the terms and conditions for each of the loans given and what is the rate applicable, compare with the circulars and look from your systems, because you are all tech savvy systems. You people are better than us. You can verify each of the accounts from what is the margin available, what is the rate of interest applied, what is the collateral security applied. There will be around 15 to 16 columns for a loan advance. You just see whether everything has been covered or not. Like in my experience, they call it as a data cleansing. Like the person who feeds the data is the person, like we have heard garbage in, garbage out. If I feed the proper data, it will show or throw up the proper data. If it is not there, then it will give a wrong data. The generally banks employ separate teams to verify whether these data required for that loans and advances or deposits has been correctly fed into the system or not. Take sanction letters and circulars for interest and commission. Expenses side. Expenses side, there will be very minimum apart from interest income and interest expenses, commission and commission paid should be verified with the circulars and sanction letters. What about rent? Rent for the premises, security charges, there will be a lot of expenses which are incurred at the branch level. Verify is there any documentary evidences available. If you ask for the rental deposit, they say, sir, it is under dispute. 2 years back it is expired, it is under process, it is not renewed. then all these small points are the vital points to bring it to the attention of the management that you have done the good work. General, gold, bullion and security items. What are the security items? Gold. There are specialized gold loan branches where they give only gold loans. There are a lot of people who take the gold loans, leave this private finances. Banks are very good financiers. Can an embezzlement can happen there? Can the branch manager can take home the gold? How is it ensured? Because in certain branches there will be around 500 number of items of gold loans, 200 number of items of gold loan. All these will lead you to there is a chance of misappropriation because you are handling a running cash or running gold, which always a tempting. In one of the earliest fraud cases, they used to do is that, like, suppose if there is a 10 lakhs rupees cash, they used to put first 2-3 lakhs rupees in the front side so that it looks like my 10 lakhs rupees is safe, and the people used to take the cash from the previous bunch and misutilize. These are all the live examples I'm telling. You have to go into the details and test check. And as a matter of precaution, you should not put your tick marks on any of their legal documents, because in case of court cases and other things, it will go against the not the bankers. Bank will come and attack your principal. Wherever this one, you make a note and bring into this one, and where you will be even. Articleship will get terminated or extended. I don't know. By the time if you are finished, you are safe. But this is all just precautionary. You should not make any tick marks in their bank papers because it is a vital documents in the case that bank goes for litigation and court cases. Whatever the printouts and other things you are free, but not on security documents. Gold loans, it is a generally a lot of scope is there for misappropriation. Documents to be obtained: general books and records, written representation by bank manager, exception report. What is this exception report? You are supposed to go for a client's file for audit, but as per information available, you were somewhere else. Right? Is it an exception or not? The systems nowadays, the IT systems are so robust, they will give you the exception reports for the branch manager to view, verify, and take corrective actions. What are they? Suppose in SB account, I hold 5,000 rupees of balance and the branch has given 10,000 rupees, allowed me to withdraw. How is it possible? Debit balances in savings bank account, debit balances in current account. Is it the exception? It means a system failure where they have allowed me to withdraw excess money, which is not mine. Any loan where the loan is given against the security of stock and he has not submitted a 3 months stock report, then my DP will become 0. It will throw out the letters. Ask for these exception reports classes. Take that report and you just generally what you see that bank manager will take the printout as a ritual and keep it inside. But for you, it is a good food. If you want to do the audit, exception reports are most useful data. They will generate and give it to you. They will give what are the LCs expired, bank guarantees expired, then loans where the loans where the drawing power has become 0, SMA accounts, SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, which we'll study later. all these data, they have segregated in such a way that the bank at the end of the day, when they make the day end, all these exceptions reports will be available. If they say the bank managers or the persons who are assisting you will say that we don't know, but you should call the higher ups and ensure that all these reports are available with you. Take the exception reports for 31st March 2022 and exception report for 30th September 2020 and verify quarterly. Suppose if you are if throw some extra light on the how the branch is behaving, then take a random and increase your level of verification. Software systems. How many of you people share your mail IDs with friends? Yeah, whatever, just bank account. He'll call, you use like this, my user ID, password, everything. Even though we know it is bad or this one, we feel that you are my good friend and this one, but my good friend is always a bad. Hmm. Password. Password protection is the most important in a bank. One person is using everybody's password to approve, to make the feed, and this one. These are all, that's why they have come up with that thumb printouts. And it is not that the banks are also bringing extra systems, and there are people who perpetrate and get into these loopholes. They will share user ID password for branch manager, approving authority, and all those things. You do this out of context. There was a because it is relevant, I am telling you, there was a case under GST where the local GST officer has allowed his assistant to use his key. You know what he has done? In the registration certificate, that person has uploaded his bank account number and his photo and taken some 20 lakhs rupees refund. It is hypothetical, it is a big refund. I can't divulge the details. Case is going on. Unfortunately, that young officer has got suspended. You should look into the way the scammers are doing or how the people are this one. Once, suppose any funds gets transferred to other bank account, who is responsible? The person who is using this one. And in a bank, generally, there will be lot of protection to the systems where the central operations are done. In this, where the other softwares are not allowed to be incorporated. Can you directly, you just see and try to insert your pen drive. Sir, I want to copy. You just see. They say that, sir, e system nalli barala. Then which system? Whether it is connected to other system. Casually, you can look into this. It is like your eye opener. Just you see, you'll find something new. You just see the camera, whether it is working or not. No. Your fire operating system expired 1.5 years back. Huh? There is a checklist for fixed asset register and other things. You can see those things. These are all vital points for the bank security, but nobody is bothered. Can a bank make a manual entry? After all, the person who feeds the data will be responsible. In order to bring transparency, banks are also making an automatic updates of the accounts and other things. From this year, the recognition of asset classification and income recognition has been done manually. They say another 5 years there will not be bank branch audit because the system will take care of the asset classification and income recognition. Now more than 70% of the bank branches are subject to audit. They say there will be no audit within a matter of 5 years. But don't worry, we are chartered accountants, there will be a lot of opportunities. Because this dialogue which I am hearing for the last 20 years, that next year there will be no bank audit. But it is there for 20 years. Inter-branch accounts. The same branch, suppose Jayanagar branch is having an account with MG Road branch. Inter-branch accounts take balance confirmation letters, reconciliations, and is there periodical reconciliation or not? Then this frauds. We already discussed a lot about these frauds. Frauds detected are classified, but confirmation of reporting to RBI is not available with branch. Whenever there is a fraud, whether it has to be segregated into employee fraud or outside fraud. What is employee fraud? Suppose somebody takes 25,000 rupees cash, whether it can be reported. As per that, there is a one Jilani Ghosh committee report. They say up to 25,000 rupees is forget, need not be reported. But any employee fraud or non-employee fraud, that should be segregated and it should be reported to the higher ups. Okay. Whether any suspected or likely fraud cases are reported by the branch to head office during the current year. When we came to the first example, your good friend, bad friend who is not responding, there is one customer where the business is not running and you find that there is a lot of problems with his operations. There is a report in the branch that actually he owes a lot of money in the market and there is a possibility as a branch manager whether he has reported that to his head office or not. Whether the system of early warning framework. What is it early warning framework? Had some of your friend told on the first day when you got 1 lakh rupees that the fourth friend and third friend are bad, you would have not given the money. At least you had 50,000 rupees, you are happy. Correct. What are these early warnings in a bank? Your concurrent audit report, your inspection audit report, that's why I took that miscellaneous as a first. All these reports which are periodically generated within the system, your exception reports will give a glimpse that whether a particular borrower account is good, bad or going to worst. What is implementation of KYC and AML? KYC is know your customer. You fail to recognize your good friends. Okay, for what is the KYC? What you will do? Nowadays, opening one SB account in a bank branch or any branch, especially this private banks, it is a difficult. It is easy to pass one group, but getting open a one bank account is much difficult. They will ask for your photo, Aadhaar, PAN card, where you are residing. One person will come and visit your place. There is a separate visiting agencies and all those things. This is as per the RBI guidelines that you should know your customer and comply with those guidelines. What is this AML, anti-money laundering? Any idea? Anti-money laundering? There are dozens of acts which AML, there is a one separate agency called Enforcement Directorate. This deals with anti-money laundering clauses. Recently, some 120 bank accounts. It is yesterday's story. Some 120 bank accounts of a certain branch has been freezed under economic offences wing. There is a separate economic offence wing by the Karnataka state government where they have blocked and they are verifying what are the credits and debits in the account. The amounts coming or amounts going out of a bank account, either it may be a terror fund, either it may be a smuggling fund, or it may be a bribery fund, we don't know. All those things, the enforcement directorate has the right to verify and report. For that, they have issued certain guidelines. You report wherever there is a more than 5 lakhs rupees cash deposit without the branch manager's knowledge, the report gets uploaded. Then, if there is a 5 crores, definitely all these investigation agencies will come and verify. As an auditor, you should see whether AML guidelines have been met with or not. There is a case where the loans, like under income tax, you might have heard about these safe havens for tax evasion. Cayman Island, Dubai, or Mauritius, where the money is pumped in, all legal or illegal money is coming. You might have heard last stories. All those things, no wonder there may be a case where you are auditing. That's why you should keep your eyes and ears open. What you find may not find is immaterial, but you should have the knowledge. Management information system. Every Friday, the branch will send one information system. It is automatically generated plus additional data to its management. It is a compulsory. You can go through those systems and see whether it is in order or not. Branches dealing in foreign exchange. There will be separate branches. Like you can't have this foreign exchange in each and every branch. They will call as authorized dealer branches, which are specially designated to deal in foreign exchange branches. Similar to exception report, there will also be reports under these foreign exchange branches. You should collect those information and verify is there any chances of irregularity. All these NRE accounts, NRO accounts, FCNRB, EFC and RFC, all these accounts like foreigners can keep a deposit and other things. Suppose a foreigner has kept the deposit on 1/4/2021. He stayed for more than 180 days, whether he is a resident or non-resident. Your other loss will also come into picture. Because he stayed there for more than 180 days, what happens? Under income tax. Resident? Agreed. Then whether he can continue this FCNRB account or this one, you verify the guidelines and check that. What is Nostro and Vostro accounts? It is a specialized bank amount held with other banks in foreign currencies. Suppose if I have $1,000, that account will be held in SBI will keep it in Canara Bank or vice versa. For SBI it is Nostro account and for Canara Bank it is a Vostro account. Wherever there is a such accounts you should verify and report. Clearinghouse operations. What is this clearinghouse operations? You heard about check truncation? Whenever there is a checks you deposited, where it will go for clearance and other things. Clearing house operations. All these will segregated into a clearing house operations branch, which will exchange the branch and all the online approvals will be made. Suppose if you are auditing a clearing house operations branch, you should verify how many entries are not addressed and what is the reason. Is there any irregularity? Asset recovery branch. What is this asset recovery branch? Let us try to understand this. You may find this or not in your audit. What you will do for your fourth friend? I'm coming back to this basic. You'll find out one Bahubali. Huh? See, he has taken money and this one, you'll go and fight with him or not? Yeah. Now, the bank manager or each branch cannot dedicate the time for these bad loans. Therefore, what they will do, they will transfer all these bad loans into a single branch called Asset Recovery Branch. You may come across with the audit of that one. What you will do, that bank will file a suit against those defaulted borrowers, try to recover the money, try to seize their assets and liabilities as per the banking norms, try to encash that so that this 25,000 rupees, at least you will get 5,000, 10,000 or whatever. That is called asset recovery branches. In such banks, you can go for the audit. You should seek how many, what that branch is doing, whether it is fast, slow or lazy. You can give what are the opening balances of accounts, what are the accounts added, how much recovered and closing balances, and reasons for delay in non-recovery. This RBI wants you to look into that, what is the balances in 2018, 19, 19, 20, 2021. Based on that, you can give your comments. Time taken by the branch. Whether is there a collision between the branch manager and your friend. So that this, wherever there is a assets recovered, it is under court, but deliberately it is getting delayed. What are the reasons? Is there any problems? All those things you should report. We finished the LFAR except advances, like 8 or 10 tranches which we split into the LFAR. Now we bring into most important aspect of LFAR is advances. Advances is a ocean. This you have to go to the each branch, identify what kind of advances that branch has advanced. Based on that, refer the guidance note and segregate what it is, whether the relevant circulars segregate and make a note of that. Based on that, you carry out your audits. What is this advances? Earlier, we used to certify based on our test check, everything is found correct. What is the, at the beginning, my colleague told the LFR has been revised in 2020. What is the changes they brought it? Anyone has idea? Yeah. Now they want you how many, which accounts you have verified. Is there any irregularity in that? Based on, suppose if you say that I have verified 3 accounts, you have to give the 3 account numbers and in a separate parameter, like what are the advances, what is the amount extended and other things. And after 3 years, when you are qualified and left your office, if there is something wrong, they will come and ask you, what is this one? Who has done this audit? Who was there? What documents have done? Documentation is most important. For all accounts above the threshold, this large advance meaning, what is the large advance? 10% of outstanding. Suppose if the advance of the branch is just 50 crores, then what is 10%? 5 crores. You have to choose, pick and make 100% verification of all the loans exceeding 5 crores because it is a mandatory. If I verify 5%, 5 crores, what about other loans? You can test check. That old formula still is there, but for this 10%, suppose if you visit a branch where the advances are 500 crores, what is 10%? 50 crores. But they say whichever is less, wherever there is a threshold limit is more, all these 10 crores and above cases you have to compulsorily verify. And LFAR gives a specific format to capture the data for this 10 crores and other things, which runs into 5-6 pages. Can you write those papers? Your time is for 4 to 6 days or maximum 10 days. Can you fill all those things? No. For that, it is the responsibility of the branch manager to prepare those 10 crores and above cases in a specified format. You should ask them to keep it ready before you go. This is the prepared. Again, advanced verification classification, there are separate segregations. We under broader this one. What is that? Credit appraisal, sanctioning disbursement, documentation, review monitoring supervision, asset classifications, and non-fund based facilities. What is credit appraisal? Know your customer. He comes with a figure that I am going to achieve 100 crores turnover. What you will ask? Not increase the credit. You are not there for increasing the credit. It is the credit appraisal means the bank manager has to assess whether he is registered under GST, what are his previous financials will say, what is his credentials, what is like we discussed this KYC and AML lines, whether the credentials of the customer is correct or not. Most of the times what happens, whoever the customer comes, he is great. He is eligible for 5 crore rupees loan. And generally the bank would have relied on the projections of the borrower. Whether suppose if he says from 10 crores, he suddenly jumps to 100 crores, is it possible? Somebody can pass all the 4 groups at a time? Law won't allow. Then they say, where is your project report? They say they will grow paddy in Bangalore. Where is the land? They say that they will cultivate something in areas where they are establishing a power plant or something where it is not feasible. There is a lot of information available for nowadays it is a Google. Everything is Google. The branch manager has to apply his mind and make a proper credit appraisal. Then once the credit appraisal is done, he has to prepare a report. Then it goes for sanctioning. At the time of sanction, the sanctioning authority has to verify what is going on with the credit appraisal and then give the sanction. Before disbursement, what are the terms of sanction, whether it has been complied or not. Then comes the documentation. All the documents are in the interest of the bank and it is safely safeguarded, whether it is in order or not. Then what is the review, monitoring, supervision? The third and fourth friend is gone. At least first and second are good. Every day you have to send one WhatsApp message. Good morning. How are you? The branch manager has to periodically visit. There are separate credit officers who have to go and visit the premises. What are the things going on at the borrower's place? Is there any lacuna in his operations? Is there anything is new? These are all review, monitoring, supervision. Whether he has updated his insurance, whether he has given the stock statements, whether it was subject to stock audit. For each class, there is this one, and within this 10 days, you have to report. Asset classification, IRAC, and non-fund based facilities like this is LG and this one. Credit application, what it will contain, loan application and preparation of proposal for grant, renewal, enhancement of loan. What are the kind of loans? Broadly, term loan and cash credit. What is term loan? Given for more than repayment period? It can be more than 1 year. You can safely assume that it is long-term loans are called term loans and cash credit loans are against stock and debtors. At least once in a year, you should review or renew the cash credit loans and review the term loans so that the assets for which he has given the loan is in order, or assets which are stock and book debts are safe or not. This is called credit appraisal. Then loan application. What are the documents required? Whether the prescribed loan application is done. Most of the times, if you go to a rural branch, the loan application at the bottom of this one, borrower would have signed, nothing filled. Assets and liabilities, nothing. All those papers, sir, he is a good borrower. Nothing to worry. We have already sanctioned disbursement, that borrower is also gone. Whether the correct rate of interest has been applied, whether the interest rate is periodically reviewed, are there any frequent renewals, rollover of short terms? If a borrower is valid credit report is available, credit rating for more than 5 crores, it is a credit rating is a compulsory. For more than 5 crores, a stock audit report is compulsory. Suppose if your cases is covered, whether those credit rating has been obtained or not, whether stock report has been obtained or not. Sanctioning and disbursement, whether any credit facilities have been sanctioned beyond delegated authority. What is the branch manager's powers? 25 lakhs. He has sanctioned a loan for 30 lakhs. Is it permissible? How will you ascertain? You should ask for the delegated powers. What is the power of the branch manager? What is the scale 1, 2, 3, 4? If you go and ask the branch manager, he will say that, sir, I am scale 2 manager, scale 3 manager, scale 4 manager. These scales, as long as you move up the ladder, you will have the higher authority. If I am right, the scale 7 manager will become the general manager of that. You will be covering so many areas of that area. Okay. Suppose if you get the delegated powers and he is exercising the power of scale 3 manager, but you find that actually he is a scale 2 manager, then there is a deviation. This is one bank provide loans to companies to buy back their shares and securities. This is the one new concept which has been introduced for this period. Can it be given? Yes, it can be given, but it will be in specialized branches and subject to terms and conditions. Documentation. Gold loan, whether the gold has been deposited, it is properly tried and it has contains the assayer's report, it contains the properly filled application, it contains the sanction letter, it is duly attested and signed by the concerned empowered bank manager that it is loan is approved or not. Like, what are the other things? For a vehicle loan, what they will give? Generally, if we go for a vehicle loan, what they will ask? RC, one copy of your key. If you don't pay, they will take that and go back. For each kind of loan, there is a set of procedures prescribed that before disburse of the loan, you take all these things. Your duty is to verify. So look, this is your this one. What are the documents to be given? Go to that circular and whether it has been obtained. Sanction letter says that you this one. There is a insurance. Take for insurance. If they say that suppose if your stock is for 2 crores, to take for 2 crores full value, but that borrower has taken for 1 crore. Is it not a deviation or not? That has to be reported. What is advance on lien and deposits? I can take loan against my deposit. What is lien? Today I have got 10 lakhs rupees of FD in the bank and I am eligible to take 70% of the loan. I take 7 lakhs rupees and tomorrow I go and withdraw this 10 lakhs rupees and go. Is it possible? Possible or not possible? Today 10 lakhs I deposit, tomorrow I take 7 lakhs rupees loan which I take away and day after tomorrow I go to the branch and demand 10 lakhs rupees. They call it as a lien. They have to mark that the borrower has taken loan of 7 lakhs rupees against this FD and if at all if you want to encash, first adjust the proceedings against the outstanding loan and release the balance. That is called lien account. In earlier days, they used to do this in manual. Most of the times now it is computer-based system, but you have to ensure that all these FD loans are properly liened. What is this balance confirmation and acknowledgement to debts? In the regular audit, you take every year, you send a letter to the creditors, debtors. Okay, what about what is the significance? He has taken loan from you. Why we should take? Correct. You are a banker. It is not a business undertaking. There is a law called Limitation Act, where suppose if any amount, if I don't ask, you don't ask, then you'll take it for granted. My friend is not asking, there is no need. I'll come for fresh 25,000 rupees. They say Limitation Act within 3 years, if you don't get this acknowledgement debt that yes, I have taken 50 lakhs rupees from the branch and I acknowledge, then the bank will lose the right to claim before the courts. Therefore, there is a mandatory aspect from the branch that suppose if it is a term loan given for 5 years, then before the end of 3 years, you should get fresh acknowledgement debts, and this is also periodical balance confirmation. You might have read in IBC code, like suppose if there is any financial creditor asks for his amount to be repaid, or a operation creditor asks for the amount, they will say whether it is within the limitation period or outside the limitation period. That limitation act has a big bearing on the bank advances. What happens suppose the branch has given a loan for 6 years, 1 plus 5 years. I take 2 acknowledgement debts. I don't want to see your face, one for 2025 and one for 2028. Is it okay? In a classic case, I have taken the AOD for 2025 and I got transferred. The new branch manager came and he says that it is already on record and he certified that acknowledgement debt has been taken. But unfortunately, that borrower has died in 2023. Possible? Therefore, as per that limitation act, it says that before the end of 3 years, you should go and take. Nowadays, they take Google Photos and other things and upload. Like in front of this one, I have taken this one. But this is the law. Whether stock and book statement and periodic statement are done regularly. What is the significance of this one? I have time? Review monitoring supervision, whether the stock and book debt statements are available or not. Any stock statement beyond 3 months, what happens? The asset becomes NPA. Okay, then what are the next steps? What are the next steps? Then what you have to see? The borrower never comes. Whether the stock statement submitted to the branch is correct or not. We have seen a cases where stock statement are submitted as on 31st March 2022. When you go for the audit or look into this one previous year, I say 30th March 2021, 10 crores is your stock. And when audited financial statement, it is 4 crores. Within a day, what happened to this? They will come with the explanation. No, this is as on 30th, this one on 31st day, I have sat and reconciled. Actually, there is no stock. These are all the games borrowers do. Actually, this one, and most of the branches generally, they don't reduce the creditors. What is it? How the drawing power is calculated? What is the drawing power? I get the loan for 5 crore rupees, then I should have the basic margin money, say 1.5 crores as my contribution. Okay, when I give 6 crores of debtors and stock, I have around 3 crores of creditors. Whether that creditors amount should be reduced or not. Yeah, come. Generally, the DP calculation is an article you can contribute a lot. You take all the CCs and create a master data for what are the audited financial statement for the 31/3/2021 if the periodical statements are not available, and what is the stock statement and debtor statement given for the month of 31st March 2021. Compare that. Usually there will be huge variance. What bankers have given. Now, in order to overcome, what is the latest amendment, under Companies Act from this year? Company auditor has to compare the stock statement given to banker, signed, loans obtained, and he has to give the report whether he is complied with law or not. All the acts are intermingling now. They want the like it is becoming our job is more this one. I give a separate stock statement for the banker. I give a separate stock statement to income tax and GST authorities. Is it possible? There are cases, for your information, there are cases where they give two audited financial statement, one to income tax and one to bankers. And there are a set of people, unfortunately, within our fraternity, outside fraternity, who sign and give. What they will do, actual my turnover is 3 crores and my profit is 3 lakhs. They will add 1 zero on both sides, 30 crores and 25 crores, and there are certain areas which have been red flagged, that these areas are all this one. As a professional, you should avoid all those instincts. You may get better money, but those money is not going to stay with you for a longer this one. Don't make your membership at risk. I'm not threatening you. I'm telling the practical this one. Even my own report, they are showing, they called me, where is your Aadhaar? I have given my Aadhaar and what report I have certified. They took the copy. I have given the report copy of the statements filed with the income tax department. They compared. Then they showed me, who's this? You verify my signature. That was different number. One North Indian fellow, some number. Because of that, UDIN has come into picture. In case of non-corporate entities, liquor dealers, paddy traders, who are all non-corporate entities, up to 10 lakhs rupees, they said simple procedure, no financial statements. In such a cases, whether the branch has visited their premises and taken any stock details or this one to verify whether debtors are there or this one, all those things you have to verify. What is the due diligence report? Nowadays is a common phenomenon for investment activities and other things. Is there any other area where due diligence is required? Wherever there is a consortium loan or wherever there is a takeover loans, there will be a due diligence report constituted by the consortium bankers. This is an opportunity for you. You should verify the borrower's account and make whether they are all statutorily correct, what loan they are proposing, whether it is correct or not. Based on that, you can verify and give a report that whether the loan can be given or not. Whether periodic inspection of securities charged to bank has been carried out. I told the branch manager's duty or designated officer duty to verify and report whether the securities are intact or not. Valuation reports, like acknowledgement debts, once in 3 years, you have to take valuation reports for this NPAs. I have got the security of one house. Bank has got a security of one house, whether it has, what is the value within 3 years, whether it is intact or not. All those things you should take a periodic review. They say generally 3 years. Deterioration of securities. Can you store a milk for 10 days? No, it is possible. I'll add one more zero. Perishable items, not perishable items, like there is a grains, paddy, jawar, and value of securities obtained is around 1 crore. There is a 80 lakhs worth of stocks available. What you should do? These are all perishable items. Beyond 6 months or 1 year, if it is not properly stored, it will get, then branch has to get the minimum value for it. Then it has to take actions for securities. You remember the goods seized by GST authorities, they have the right to sell if it is perishable in nature, so that that money can be given to the actual owner. Similar circumstances may be here also. Whether a branch has any red flagged accounts. What is this red flagged accounts? From last year, they say, suppose if there is an income tax raid, GST raid, the branch manager's duty is to red flag that account and monitor that account carefully. You should ask for what are the red flagged accounts, whether any RBI auditor or inspection auditor has red flagged these accounts. Comment on adverse features considered significant in top 5 standard large advances. They want you to comment on the specific 5 large advances. Make a report, study on your own and report to your seniors. Then make a consolidated report. It's 1 plus 1 is always 11. Opinion sought from the auditor with respect to asset classification. Then we, at the beginning of the discussion, we told we have to identify the assets into standard asset, substandard asset, doubtful asset, loss asset, or finally fraud asset. The loss asset is different and fraud asset is different. There may be various reasons for the loss, but everything is not a fraud. But there is a thin line of difference, and you have to look, is there any fraud element involved in that? What is SMA 1012? Any advances which are good are called SMA 0. 30 to 60 days it is called 1, and 62 and beyond is called 90 days it is called SMA 2. You have to monitor this SMA 1 and 2 accounts, because SMA 0 is always a good friend. SMA 1 and 2, there is a doubtfulness because neither is paying regularly, or there is a the stock statement given is this one. Suppose if he has taken a 1 crore loan and there are very few credits in his accounts, he is not coming to the branch at all. He stays next to your branch, but there are no credits. It means, is there any diversification of funds? Is there any misuse of funds? Then why it can, if there is no consistent credit, whatever for the last 90 days, you should serve at least interest debited to a CC account, and you should serve principal and interest debited to the term loan. If it is not, then it will get into a NPA account. But this SMA 192 accounts will give you that look, these accounts are going to become NPA if it is not monitored properly. Standard asset, like your Companies Act, a public limited company is which is not a private limited company. Or you remember the definition, like standard asset is the one which is not a substandard or doubtful. Okay, a substandard asset is a asset which has become first time NPA. Then comes a doubtful asset. Doubtful, there will be 3 categories, 1, 2, 3. Then comes the loss asset. Can one can jump from standard to direct loss? Is there any chance, or whether you should flow the normal route? You verify forever diamond case. You verify, you search how the fraud or misappropriation done in Nirav Modi's case, forever diamond case, where 800 crores straight away loss because the diamonds which are pledged to the bank and other things were not at all present. The consortium bankers, when they visited their places, the borrower told, if you want to return with your life, then get back. All these things, there may be small or big branches, there will be a lot of cases for examination. Suppose you have given a loan for storage of warehouses. Then you find that entire stock is lost, burnt by fire. There is no fraud. Actually, the genuine borrower. Can I shift that loan directly to a loss? Yes. They can do, internal or external auditors can certify there is no recoverability. Like Puneet Rajkumar case, he was there at 11 and 12 o'clock is not there. 2 minutes, he would have survived. I'm just giving the example. Like there may be cases where the borrower is good, but something has happened. He has he has invested in tomatoes. When he brought it for 25 rupees a kilo, now it is 2 rupees 50 paisa. Is there any recoverability charges? This happens in trading. It happens in many industries are there where there is a huge variation in prices and it is gone case. RBI inspectors and internal and external auditors, if they verify and value that there is no recoverability, they can straight away convert this into a loss asset. Asset classification, in many friends have covered this. Agriculture advances. We will come across with large number of agriculture advances. What is the criteria? Madam? What is short term? What is short term? You have cultivated? Huh? What is that? What is Kharif and Rabi? When does it start? Kharif comes, Rabi comes first, or Rabi comes first and Kharif comes second. Your auditor. Agriculture loans, whenever you visit, suppose if you go to a Hassan, look for, it is all controlled by the state level monitoring committee, and the local deputy commissioner is authorized to declare whether that Hassan district for this year is subject was drought hit area, or it is a excess rain area. Madikeri, there was a huge floods. Then entire crop might have gone. Then the deputy commissioner declares that this is a drought hit or flood hit area. Then it is called anevari. That local banks, they have the committee, they will disclose that this will be this one. Then all this, your short term, long term will go. Everything is standard. But bank will classify everything as a standard, but there may be cases where these loans are carried forward from 3-4 years. Successive years, you have to collect the documents, whether it is a flooded area or a droughted area, whether any declaration has been done by the local administrator or DC, then compare your accounts. Long duration crops like banana and sugarcane, correct? What about grapes? Is long short? Even I don't know. Credit card accounts. There is a lot of credit cards now. Without this one, they will give it in your pocket and run off. There is a force when you go to a mall. They'll, sir, SBI card beka. And what you'll do, you use, and you'll find that when you are going to an audit of a branch, your own account is NPA there. You can't do the, where you are taken 1,000 rupees and more, you can't do the audit. Stock statements I have covered. Working capital borrowings accounts will become NPA if such regular drawings are permitted. This working capital accounts are CCOD. Every 3 months, wherever there is a requirement, it should be duly certified by a CA, the debtor statement, and more than 5 crores, you have to get the stock statement certified. I have term loan, I have CCOD, and I have vehicle loan. My vehicle loan becomes NPA today. What is the classification? A customer is having multiple arrangements with a bank. He is having 10 crores worth of term loan, 20 crores worth of CCOD, and he has having 5 lakhs worth of vehicle loan. Vehicle loan becomes NPA. What should we do? Whole customer. It is a borrower wise classification. It is not asset wise classification. Non-financial parameters. What is this non-financial parameters? At the beginning, I told change in a behavioral pattern. The person who used to come for tea is not coming. He's when the corridor, in the same corridor, when he sees you, he takes a different route. Like in a bank account, when you verify, suppose a person has gone with the loan and he is not coming back with the proper credits. He is not giving these proper stock statements. He is not giving the audited financial statements. He is not responding to the correspondence issued by the branch managers. These are all inherent weaknesses. If you look into the accounts, like whatever take top 20 or 20% of the large advances, you will be covering more than 50-60% of the branch. There will be cases where in one of the cases where my branch audit total exposure was 210 crores. How many number of customers? 3. One is 5 crores, another is 5 crores, and the third one is 200 crores. You see the treatment that will be given to the borrower. His boss will, sir, ನನ್ನ ಚೆಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. One day it will come down to 10 crores. Then branch manager has to oblige. This is a gimmicks or techniques used by those borrowers. After our report, within a year, they shifted to LIC by taking 200 crores loan. If you informally, that funds were diverted, mostly for some elections. There is a chances. Fortunately, they won. Therefore, they shifted to LIC. Otherwise, it would have become loss asset. There is a, like, you see this cabin. What is the worth of this? Suppose our institute might have invested around 5 crores for this building, whatever this one. The same chartered accountant who has done that, he has refurbished on this one and given a valuation for 10 crores. Multiple to avail this loan. And suppose 30th September, there is a loan of 5 crores and you have to service interest of 5 lakhs rupees. You'll come and request the manager, give ad hoc loan, 10 lakhs rupees, adjust 5 lakhs rupees, take 5 lakhs rupees and go, bye-bye. These are all called regular ad hoc limits given to protect that borrower. Branch managers' apathy is different. They want to protect the borrower because if anything goes wrong, their job is at risk. At the same time, they have to report to IRFs and they have to manage auditors. You are all good customers for 10 days. Provisioning norms for frauds. If any fraud is detected, suppose if it is reported by the branch manager, they have the right to make the provision for next 4 quarters from the first quarter in which it is detected. Suppose if it is not reported, as a punishment, they have to report in the first quarter itself. You should be careful. Government guaranteed advances. Wherever there is a central government guaranteed advances, they cannot become NPA, including the, even if it is, there is no interest recovery and other parameters are okay. For state government, interest and principal should be recovered. Keep it in mind. There is a difference between central and state government. Consortium advances. Consortium advances is the case where 5 banks come together and lend 200 crores to a particular borrower. Where you have given advance, suppose your share is, the branch where you have audited is 20 crores, the NPA classification should be viewed from that 20 crores, not to the 200 crores. The other branch manager is strong and is recovering promptly. Your money is not getting, then it is your bad luck. You have to classify it as an NPA. Provisioning, I have shared the slides. Restructure and replacement. What is the restructure? Pardon? Suppose a person or borrower is not conduct is not good, but the branch wants to give him some leverage by restructuring or rephasing this one. In case I have got a 1 crore loan with a bank where I thought my business will start in the month of September, but because of various reasons like COVID or something else, it got delayed by 3 months, and I want to start the business in the month of January. But 3 months I have to service interest and principal. In case if it is a genuine reason, it is not possible for me to repay, then the branch can restructure my loan. There are like a lot of reliefs have been given during this last 2 years. That COVID relief package you have to go through, where eligible creditors, borrowers have been given 20% extra of their limits to sustain this, because things were like that. They were not special packages are introduced for the COVID. Like there is a 5th May 2021 circular which is applicable for 21-22. I will not discuss what happened during first this one. After the second wave, they have given extra reliefs. And this MSME packages where up to 50 crores of loans, without converting them into a substandard assets, they can retain their standard asset category. For that, the basic condition that they should be registered under GST, and they can restructure the loan by postponing the repayment of interest and principal. IPC related accounts. What is this IBC related accounts? These corporate entities which have gone for insolvency and bankruptcy code, and whatever the resolution plan has been sanctioned, as per which if the borrower complies with the norms, even though the account is bad, they can shift that account into a standard asset. I think I will share my PPT. If anything, I have shared my mail ID also. As a special case, you can write to me also. Anything, any specific question or this one? Otherwise, my friend is waiting. Thank you very much. Right.
That's a wonderful session, sir. Then, and we definitely learned a lot about not only how bank audit works, but also about this long form audit report. And now I like to call upon CA Kavita Parmesh to present the token of appreciation.
With that informative talk, we come to the end of this session. Let us meet again after a short tea break of 10 minutes. The next technical session is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Thank you.